It takes a lot of work to actually get somewhere. It takes money, it takes grant writing, it takes so much organization and approval from the school board and talking to parents, but once we finally got there, it was worth all the work.
And there were a lot of small things that kind of added up to be put together to make it all happen. Like we sewed a tablecloth, we designed t-shirts and made posters.
At first I definitely felt out of place because this was a new big city and I always grew up in a small town, but eventually I grew used to it and I started to really embrace what this new environment had to offer.
It was super fun because I got to see like a bunch of cool parts of like New York City, and it's cool to do it with like other students and not just like your family and like your parents there. It was cool to like see it from a different point of view and not like just a family like outing. It was like changing the world and stuff.
What did I see at the fair? Oh, I saw so many cool things. It was so cool. I loved it. Okay. So there was a lot of new things. There was a lot of robots. There was a lot of like big companies. Like there was this giant robot hand that was always giving the thumbs up or like smashing cars. And sometimes there was also like booths about teaching people and helping people learn. And there was also competitions there. And there's also just learning for the sake of learning and organizations specifically for volunteering and donating. And what I saw was not the inventions I saw. It was people coming together with a love of innovating and creating, ultimately with a goal of benefiting other people for profit or not for profit.
What did you see at the fair?
I saw a robotic hand controlled by an operator wearing a glove and it was able to pick up cars, crush them. They had stuff on fire at one point. It was pretty awesome.
Humans, like as a species, are a lot more advanced than I thought we were. And there's also a lot of people who are like inventing stuff all the time and they're coming up with super cool ideas. And it's also not all people in big cities who are coming up with big ideas. It's also people in small towns. And I also learned that even like one idea can really change the world and really make a difference.
We saw sustainable living, and it was like these emptied out buses with a bed and a kitchen and all this stuff, and it was kind of cool to see how a whole family could live in such a small place.
I don't know. I didn't really look at like, I guess I did look at the materialistic like side of things, like what people's innovations actually were, but I really was more interested in their motivation behind it, I guess, and what sparked their interest. Because I find when you hear what sparked their interest, you get interested in that, and then you can take it in your own direction, and then
What did you learn about yourself?
I learned how to play better in a team. I was always kind of just an individual on projects and this taught me to work with people to get something done better.
I learned that talking to strangers is scary, but as the weekend progressed, I got a bit better and got some more confidence.
Confidence was a big one. I'm not very outgoing and sometimes struggle to talk to people that I don't know, so this was a good experience to kind of get out of my comfort zone.
Even after the first night, we all came together really well, and we did a really good job of like coming together as a team and really like getting our message out there as a team, not as like individuals.
you know, we're all very different and we all have very different strengths and weaknesses, and even though we all can build lights, we're definitely, some of us need to improve in certain areas more than other people, and some of us are very like overpowering and we really want to help and step in, and that's great in certain situations. And we really understood each other better after the trip because we'd seen each other exhausted, and we've seen each other after walking like how many 10 kilometers in a day. We've seen each other exhausted, and we really understood each other better and were more empathetic towards each other, so we knew each other better, and we knew when to take a step back and when to help them, and so we really understand each other a lot better now.
As a team, and also just get to know other girls and other guys in other grades, and not just like just one grade 9 and just like one grade 10. It was cool to like all come together.
How did you feel when strangers asked you questions?
I wasn't always sure of the answers at first, but I grew to understand what they wanted to know, and I was able to answer the questions later on, and I began to feel really confident about what I was doing.
I was a bit nervous and I didn't have all the information, so every couple minutes I'd be bugging our teachers like, what is this? And then as I got the information, it was a bit better and I could answer the questions fully.
Yeah, I was always really excited to share like what our findings and what we had to say. And I was really excited to hear that other people had questions and were interested in what we were doing. And I especially loved when they asked questions I didn't know how to answer and I never really considered before, because it really made me question myself, and I was excited to go back and think about it and do more research and everything like that.
It was super fun to like teach other people about our project and learn about other people's projects, and also meet new people and come together as a team.
What was it like setting up the booth? How did you feel?
That's when it really started to hit me what we were doing, and that we would be able to present this project that I knew really had to get out there to the hundreds and thousands of people that would be at the fair.
It was kind of scary. We were finally there, like all this planning had finally come into place, and we were setting up like the soldering irons and putting the background up, and we got to see what everyone else was doing, and I was kind of intimidated.
At the time, it was pretty surreal because there were a lot of different booths around, some of which were big companies like Google. So it was cool to see that even though we're from a small town and province, that we can compete with people from around the world.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. What did you learn about your teammates?
One thing that I learned is that Sky definitely needs her sleep. Braden is really well spoken and he's really good at kind of sounding like he knows what he's talking about. He's really good at doing that. When we left for New York, we weren't all that close. We're not strangers, but we just weren't really that close. And then when we came back, we were all really close friends and we learned a lot about each other.
I like the whole experience collectively, like together. I couldn't pinpoint one thing specifically because everything together made the experience and everything together made the trip. Whether it be like walking 14 kilometers a day at like 3 a.m. we were just getting home, and then waking up at 6, and then going to the Maker Faire and seeing so many new things and getting inspired to do lots more, and I don't know, getting to know everyone too. Was just everything together combined. It's great.
Bloopers. Okay. What was your favorite part about the trip?
What did you learn about your teammates?
Don't look at me like that. Okay, do that again.
Well, you can't have a book. Okay.
Can you see it?
No, you're good.
Okay.
But you're gonna look down, aren't you?
Okay, all the Maker Faire thing to be showing.
Oh yeah.